So this is supposed to be the following day. It isn't really, but I missed a day out because I'd had my booster shot and I felt like the proverbial, so I didn't do it. But I figured if I changed my glasses from last time that you wouldn't know that it was the same day. So last time I just talked about an experience I had when two people came in, two dentists actually came in and had their night guards, which they'd made themselves, and snored, and we suggested they leave their their night guards out, and their snoring went away. So I'm not suggesting that immediately there's a cause and effect, that the night guard was causing the compromised airway. Well, obviously it was causing the snoring because they didn't snore afterwards and they did before. But it's just worthwhile being aware of. Anyway, I won't go over that because we talked about that before. So I thought probably it was time to just... well, it's taken me a long time to get round to this really, but I have said in the past that, in my opinion, since this is all my opinion anyway, but it's my opinion that dental sleep medicine is much more than making oral appliances, which I still stand by. But I never actually said what it was. And, you know, we've got some good books available, which I'll kind of look at because I'm not too sure where they are offhand in the thing. Don't want to waste time doing this. But there's some really good books which outline the parameters. It may include such things as parafunctional activity, obstructive sleep apnea, snoring, URs, and movement disorders, which bruxism now, at this point in time, since it constantly changes, seems to be accepted as being. But I'll go one step further. Without making it too complicated, I think what we're dealing with here in dental offices is the ability not only to introduce dental sleep medicine as an overview of a way we practice, but also to bring in behavioural sleep medicine. There's a lot of interest in outside parties, mainly because it wasn't done particularly well with public health, in improving sleep, and it could be as simple as sleep hygiene measures, you know, sort of wind down time and all the things that we know about but don't know about, and know we should be doing and don't do, and know we should be telling other people but don't tell, and know that if we told them they wouldn't do it anyway. But nonetheless, that awareness needs to be brought out, and we're in a great position to do it, just like we are in a great position to do cancer screening. We're also able to screen for a compromised airway, and we can also screen for other things such as, well, any of the sleep disorders, but specifically insomnia, since insomnia and obstructive sleep apnea are the main two sleep disorders anyway. All of that can be done from the office. You don't need special qualifications, and I think, I'm going to regret saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway, I think that dentistry is at a crossroads. I think that we can now offer, in practical terms, things that we've never been able to offer before. You know, I'm not saying that the average dentist does a full mouth reconstruction, but from my own experience, when I see people, I'm almost seeing that. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. In fact, I'm inclined to think that it's not a good thing. But that's just my opinion. It's got nothing to do with it. But certainly from a practical standpoint, dentists are able to do things now they couldn't do before. Implants is a perfect example. I mean, we've really upped the ante with cosmetics, with function, and everything else. The only thing that... and, you know, we changed, some of us, with big flags outside our offices, and some of us, fortunately not, about this amalgam thing. I read just recently that fluoride can now be replaced and it looks like in the years to come we're not going to be using fluoride toothpaste, so we'll have to find something else to use in the office too. And that's probably not a bad thing. Just like there was no real evidence, apart from common sense, that amalgam was probably not the ideal material to fill cavities with, but nonetheless, that's what we did, and so those things sort of changed, almost by accident, with a couple of people spearheading the movement, and then as far as the practical aspects of just the mechanical aspects of doing dentistry, there's lots of gurus out there who have lots of courses available. All you need is a mortgage and away you go, and that's great too. But as a grassroots thing, I think we have an opportunity to start to do good in a different area, biological area, and I'm not talking about neuropathic dentistry and not neuropathic, what's it called? Homeopathic dentistry and all that stuff. I mean, if that turns your crank, that's fine. There's no evidence for it, but like I said, I see some people in town really promoting that as their specialty, and okay, well that's dentistry. We've got as many opinions as we do dentists, right? So providing it does no harm, and providing it doesn't take away from a diagnosis, that digging myself further into this, suffice it to say that providing you do no harm, that's fine. I mean, it's better to do good though, right? So but anyway, getting into a more physiologic, and it doesn't have to be jaw position and neuromuscular dentistry and all that sort of thing, but I mean natural as in getting air into you at night, natural as in getting a good night's sleep. Those are things that we can get into now. There's two great things about this. Number one is you, the dentist, don't have to do this. It can be delegated, and I'm sure that there's a number of people who would, in your team, be just great, even if you hire someone to do it. The second thing is it can be done remotely, and I'm not suggesting this be done from a purely financial standpoint, but many, and I have a license in a couple of places, and I see the fee guides slanting now towards what's it called? Well, not telemedicine, but that sort of thing in dentistry, and outside calls and outside the office and that sort of thing. Sort of gone full circle, really. It used to be on-call and home visits, which of course became not available, he said. And now it's sort of going back the other way because we've got technology, so we don't actually have to go out in the middle of the night like we used to anyway, so that's fine. And but so now we've got the ability to reach out, and in this environment where safety from the pandemic is all important, then that's a plus, and bill for it. And I know, in an office it's a business, and if we're going to be there for our patients tomorrow, we've got to be profitable, or we won't be. So I put those three things in. Number one, we're entering, by choice, an area where we can do great good. We've actually got more opportunities than we think we have, and that can be done remotely, and that's a big plus. And the third thing is we can get paid for doing it, and that's kind of important too. So anyway, I'll leave it there. I'll probably be wearing my other glasses next time, but we'll see. That's something to watch out for. Okay, thank you.